Today in the Smuggler's Room, we build an interrogation droid. He's not evil. Are you, little buddy? Are you? Oh, that's coming up. What's up, you awesome geeks? I'm Brian, and welcome to the Smuggler's Room, the show where each week this chubby geek tries to build something ridiculous and hopefully inspire you to take on your own wild and crazy project. If it's your first time here, then it's time to discuss the location of your hidden rebel base. So hit the subscribe button and don't forget the bell so that you don't miss a single episode. Now, today's episode is a big one, but before we jump in, I need your help. This little guy, who has zero aggression problems, needs a name.
Terminate.
Calm down, I'm getting there, I'm asking right now. So if you wouldn't mind throwing in the comments below and giving a name to my angry little friend here, that would be awesome. Now, let's get into the build. This project starts out with two of our 2/3 scale astromech domes. Now, if you look at the reference images for the movie prop, you can see that they clearly used an astromech dome for at least the top half. Ever since I noticed this, I've been thinking about using our 2/3 scale domes because it would be the perfect size for a prop. After looking at a lot of reference material, I realized that the dome was just a little bit too tall and the lower ring would have to be removed. I did this with a rotary tool and a cutoff wheel that's made to work with plastic. After the rings are removed from both halves, we start working on all the different holes that need to be cut into both the top and the lower dome. As usual around here, we're not going for screen accuracy, but a custom droid for us. That being said, I am using the reference material so that I get a general location for LED holes as well as other greeblies that we're going to attach to this droid. I found these great ornament halves at Hobby Lobby, and they're less than $2 a piece, and they come in a wide variety of sizes. They work perfectly for the concave shapes in both the upper and lower dome. I also picked up this tip from Evil Ted Smith, using packing tape below your masking tape when cutting out shapes. It allows you to stick the masking tape down, cut the shape you need, and then peel the masking back without losing any of the sticky you need. Then you can apply it. I found that for a lot of my projects, step bits are perfect. And I got this awesome set from my mother-in-law for Christmas. It allows you to sneak up on the exact size hole you need for a perfect fit. Here we're putting on the PVC attachment to the bottom of the droid. This will allow us some versatility for other attachments, say perhaps for a display stand in a future episode. The interrogation droid has all kinds of strange torture devices all over the domes, so I searched the shelves at my local Ace Hardware and found all kinds of random parts and pieces that would match some of the material that they used on the film prop. I was really going for a build something out of nothing vibe with this project, and I found that with this type of approach and your problem solving along the way, it really teaches you some new creative and interesting ways to build. Now, one of the most iconic parts to this droid is the syringe attached to its side. Now, I didn't want to use a real needle, so I found a clear tube that had some candy in it at Ace Hardware, and then I used a bunch of other random parts around the shop to build it out. And yes, I ate the candy. What I'm using for the needle actually came out of an old VCR. So remember, take things apart, because you never know that what you might find in there will work as a torture droid accessory. After all the parts were built, we assembled everything onto the domes. I used everything from CA glue and hot glue to epoxy and JB Quick Weld. Just take a look at the materials that you're using and use the adhesives that will work best with each of those. The droid has all kinds of greeblies and strange items attached to it, so I looked around the shop and added whatever I thought would help achieve the look. This is my favorite part of doing these kinds of builds. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Nothing says Star Wars like pinstriping, and this droid is no exception. So I used some reference images as a guide, and then I went to work covering both domes. On this project we used LED backlight modules as well as some red LEDs. The backlight modules can be found at Adafruit's website for under $2 each. I installed several of them and then spanned them across the holes I drilled, and it saved a ton of time on soldering. Now I know there are a lot of other ways to light the droid, but I wanted to try something I hadn't used before, and these really worked well. We also cut a few stencils out with our cricut. If you want to learn more about that, we have a Geekication episode you can watch right here. It's way overkill for this, but we have it, so I say use it. The droid has this platform gear thingy right in the center. So I used Illustrator to draw up the pattern, then I sent it to the X-Carve and let it cut it out perfectly. After that, it was only a matter of sealing all the edges using a spackle and water technique that I learned from my friend Philip Wise from therebelscum.com. After it fully dries, you can sand it down, seal the whole thing with lacquer, and paint it. In the film, there's an octagon shape in the center of the droid that had some swirling lights. So I cut all the pieces out of MDF, CA glued them all together, and then instead of LEDs, I wrapped it in a really cool vinyl material, and then I glued it down to the gear thingy. To be able to attach the top dome to the bottom dome, I used rare earth magnets. These are N52 rare earth magnets, and they're wicked strong. For the bottom dome, I cut PVC pipe to length, and then I glued on one set of magnets. Then on the top dome, I used a Forstner bit and glued in another set of magnets. Then I did a test fit, and everything worked out perfectly. Okay geeks, we are in the home stretch, so just hang in there with me. The last thing we had to do was install the switch and then tidy up all of our wires. Once that was done, we could do a final test fit. Yeah, and now the droid's complete, and he looks pretty good. Yeah, I said pretty good. Fine, great, you look amazing, fantastic, wonderful. Now don't forget to help us out by adding a name for my little angry friend in the comments. And if you don't see me next week, well then you know who to blame. And until then, keep building something out of nothing.